Hello everyone and welcome to the LSI F1.5 EU Championship. We're today for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the finale of the season here, round 14. Let's get it. Qualifying is on its final legs and we'll be ready to go racing for a 50% distance race this time compared to yesterday. We've got LSI who's recently set their final lap and they're currently sat on pole position. Aaron in P2. They qualified P2 on their debut race for Austria. Can they replicate that or can they do one better? That would be very impressive indeed. They got P3 in that race in the end. One better would put them to P2 in the race. Could they try and go for the victory though? Well, I'll tell you what, we've got two championship fighters who are going to be at it throughout this entire event. We've got Terence versus Elwayne. Elwayne 10 points ahead in the championship going into this race. It's close. It's close. It would still have to go heavily the right way for Terence, but it's not impossible. We've got Aaron going for one final qualifying lap here in the night sky. DRS open as they pull it all the way to the right hand side to minimize the track bumps here in the F1 game, and you can gain time by doing it, and they will follow into the next few corners. That's going to be as late as you like on the brakes, and once again bleeding it out onto the throttle as they try and open the wheel onto the curb. They don't utilize the off circuit no bump zone on the left here, which I am surprised at, but then they come into turn 9. High speed stuff, purple in the middle sector as well, improving on their best. And this is it, the final sector. Down the hill once more we go into the final hotel section, just modulating that throttle as you go through the left-handers and then the final two right-hand corners where it is so easy to bin it on the throttle. Can they get it right? Oh, track limits is going to be their worst nightmare, and they only just improve in the end. I don't think it would have been enough. We've got Patrick who's trying to take it away, but no, an invalid lap will not help them out at all in a very different looking Williams as they will go to the pit lane, and that will be it. LSI might be able to hold on to pole position here. Isaac on track is just following behind Kiwi across the line for the Racing Bull on debut in LSI. What's it going to be? An improvement, but they stay P5. There's the Ferrari, and they stay P6 with a slight improvement in the end. It's LSI on pole position in LSI. Absolutely brilliant stuff. That is the way they want to start this one. But Elwayne, the championship leader, is having a nightmare start to Abu Dhabi. Terence, well, I would say that they've got a good situation on their hands, but they have to outscore Terence by 10 points. And if they go even by the time we get to the end of the season, then it will be based on the most wins, and that would be Terence. LSI on pole position. Aaron once again qualifies P2, and it's Patrick in P3. That's the rest of the grid. The race director's on your screen, and we'll be back in a bit for lights out. But one final time. Ready, hold, go! Who's going to get it into turn one? Yellow on pole position. The outside line is theirs, and it looks like they've got the job done. The Aston Martin will not be able to compete. Oh, there's contact further behind. A car off. That's Terence. Terence on their championship charge. Contact in the opening corner. I don't know who it was with. It might have been the Racing Bull. I don't think it was. The championship rival who goes straight into the back. Straight into the back of the Williams and Patrick. Both Red Bulls, with the highest of stakes, have had a disaster start to this race. Absolutely extraordinary. I did not believe that would be the case for a second. Incredible stuff. The rest of the field follow on nicely. That's Yellowek, that's Aaron, that's Patrick in P1, 2 and 3 on debut. Kiwi sat in P4 and right in the train as well. Isaac on track is not going to let Kiwi go easy though. They will be sitting and ready to go for a move, but they're on the soft tyre. I'm not entirely sure why they're on the soft tyre. Soft tyres for Elwain as well. Oh, and a big off, and that's surely got to be a safety car. It is a full safety car for the Racing Bull on the exit of turn 9. They are into the wall in the early moments. It is very unlikely that we'll get a pit stop, but we might see Isaac on track and Elwain go for some mediums or soft tyre. There is, I assume, no damage on the Red Bull, but I guess that's also not impossible after they had a little bit of contact. Well, a dramatic start to this one. There is damage on Isaac on track's car. There was no damage to the Red Bull as we thought. So it will be Elwain overtaking Isaac on track in the pit lane. And yes, the hard tyre is what they're going to go for. They will still have to make another pit stop. So they're effectively starting the race from last position once more. But they just have a few less laps to do it. That's really it. That is dramatic. It also creates a much easier opportunity for Elwain to win this title. If Elwain finishes P4 and Terence P1, that is the way that Elwain will guarantee the championship. They just need to finish P4. That being said, the grid that they've got right now, it's not going to be so straightforward to just finish P4. The benefit that they do have is that it's not going to be straightforward for Terence to finish P1. So equally, it goes both ways. Anything can happen here in Abu Dhabi. As we see the sky a little bit lighter for the start of this race, but that will continue to progress as we progress with the race. It won't change things too much for the drivers though. They just have to make sure that they don't get scared by it. Big shame to see Kiwi out on their first race, on their first lap. But they were right there in the pack following the DRS train, which was a good sign. So I'm looking forward to see what they can do in the future. Although it is the final race of the season, there'll be many more opportunities for them to go racing once more in LSI. We're going to be racing once more by the end of this lap, starting lap 4 out of 29. It's Yellowek on pole position and maintaining it to hold that P1 with Aaron sat directly behind in the Aston Martin. Patrick P3, Terence P4, Elwain P5 and Isaac on track in P6. Now in theory, Isaac on track and Elwain could take it to the end of the race. If you're not aware, there is a requirement that you have to use 2 different tyre compounds during a race. 2 different tyre compound types. Elwain and Isaac and Jack have already done that, but I don't think a hard tyre is going to go to the end of the race from this point onwards. There's the safety car call. And it's going to be Yellowek who leads the way. Aaron to react to the restart. How is the Sauber going to make this one happen? And the safety car is still yet to get there. Needs a little bit more before they do go into the pit lane. And they're just trying to bunch up the pack, keep it nice and slow, and they're going to go, it looks like, pretty early on. Safety car's in the pit lane now. They can go at any point when they want to. As long as they keep the revs up, they should be good. And they've gone for it. There we are. Still warming the tyres in the background from a few cars. That is as good as you're going to get it, realistically, with a safety car restart. Perfect stuff from Yellowek, getting right on it and creating a 6/10 gap. They're not going to be pressured by the time they get to turn 5, that's for sure. They do go off the circuit, though, so their tyres may not be so optimal right now with the temperature. It looks like we've got 6 different cars out on track right now because of the different liveries between the 2 Red Bull drivers, but it really does show the divide, because although they have been civil on circuit, they've got very different tasks. They have to beat each other today. Yellowek will hold on, but using the battery down the straight, it looks like it was Aaron for a second. They do eventually back off. No one will overtake into the chicane, although Terence very close right there to the Williams. I think they're a bit too close, and now they've dropped back slightly. They've almost made a big mistake. Unless that was just perspective, it may have been. And Elwain realistically needs to just test the Terence and prevent them from winning this race. But also, more importantly, I think they just need to finish this race, because that is alone going to give them a very good chance at taking the title. And one full lap of racing, the fastest laps will trade. It's Elwain who gets there. As we're all bunched up, you can't really utilise that pure performance of the medium tyre. And you can see Terence is actually struggling with that medium tyre because their teammate's ready to go on the hard. And saving the battery into the hairpin to try and regain everything they can to blast it down the straight and prevent their teammate from getting any silly ideas. And there's a switch for the lead. We've got Aaron going to P1. Are we going to see Patrick go for it as well? They are going to try and get to that P2 spot. Instead, it's just side by side. The switchback's going to be called upon, but they didn't quite execute it quite so well. Will Terence be able to pounce on this? They're going to be forced to pounce because otherwise their teammate's going to overtake them into turn 9. They don't. They turn the battery off, and so does Elwain. Lucky to see that one happen. That's as close as it's going to get as Terence is trying to spot an opportunity on the Williams, but no, the mistake will not be enough to punish them. Very different racing lines there. You can see Terence has got some pace. They're not exactly pushing all the way because of the cars directly in front of them, but you can see Elwain and Isaac on track also have a little bit more in the locker right now, but in this train they just can't do anything about it. And here comes Elwain having to force Terence to think about defending, and that is definitely going to be advantageous to the Red Bull. That's second in the train right now, but first in the championship. Late braking could be an option, but much later into this race I think that will be the case for turn 5. The last time we've seen a Red Bull have a late braking manoeuvre into that corner in real life. Are we going to see a switch? No. Yellowek doesn't really feel the need to push for a move on Aaron. They will sit behind. Slightly to the inside line was Terence, just to make sure that they've covered any kind of consideration from their teammate of making a move, but it's not going to be the same this time around. The outside line, they're much closer than they were. It's going to be side by side through turn 9. The outside line to Elwain will allow them to open up the steering, but they've gone wide instead. They've invited the Ferrari through. I don't believe it. They hit the curb, and that sent them off a very bad trajectory, and on the inside line now, to avoid contact, they had to slow down. Isaac on track is through. What I wanted to say was, if you're on the outside line, you can open up the steering and swoop around, as we saw yesterday. But then, if you're not on the outside line, you've got the inside line, you can go a bit deeper and then force the car on the outside off very, very gradually and kind of make it legal. But no, neither of that happened. Terence was able to just carry on. Elwain made that mistake and went off the circuit. They now find themselves in P6 and one car in between them and their championship rival. Still advantage to them though, as Terence is currently not within a chance of winning this title. The P2 is 16 points to the championship and P6 is 8 points. So that's Terence. Terence has an issue. What's happened? There's a big off. As Isaac on track is now at the back of this, Terence has made a mistake and it was Elwain who got through. All of a sudden things went horribly wrong. I don't know what happened. Maybe Isaac on track hit the back of Terence, and that's what's allowed Elwain to come through and Isaac to suffer massively. Now these three are in a train of their own now, but 2 tenths away only is the trio up front, but they might just do enough here to break away if they're lucky. And this is actually the best interest of Elwain. Not that it's really nice, but if I was Elwain, I would be slowing down and not allowing Terence to get back in DRS range of the top 3, because that is a clear chance. A clear chance at them getting that title. But if they don't have a chance at winning the race and they're away from the train, then it's good to go. But no, they bring everybody back into the train. It's set from Isaac on track, who misses out. They do hold the DRS range, and it's actually in Terence's best interest that Isaac on track is still in this battle. Through the circuit, on board with Patrick, who's once again close to the back of Yellowek, but they can't compete in a straight line. That Sauber would like to explore with a few setups, I believe, unless it's just mind games. They regardless do appear to be very quick in a straight line more often than not. Now Terence hasn't been able to maintain the pace here. And this medium tyres might be dropping off quite early on. Now, relative to the rest of the field, it's probably a similar drop-off. But the fact that Elwain has been able to use this hard tyre now to catch back up to the pack is a clear sign that that hard tyre is faster at this stage of the race. Cars in front aren't too far away, but that is a nervous front end of the Red Bull. Yes, they were riding that curve, but surely it shouldn't be that crazy. Did they just do enough in those last few corners to get that DRS open? And they didn't. They didn't. I thought they might have had a chance, but no. And we've got Elwain looking for a move on Patrick. They don't go for it in the braking zone. They don't go for it. And Terence will get another opportunity later on in this lap to have a go. These guys are now going to fight it out towards turn 9, which is absolutely disastrous, surely. Terence is now going to have a brilliant chance of getting back into this race. Outbraking themselves though, that is Patrick, allowing for a switchback of dreams to come from the Red Bull, and I think that's going to be pretty much done and dusted. Very well spotted after some decision making that I thought maybe wasn't the optimal one. But now they look at solidifying their championship situation even more. Oh, a big spin, and it's Elwain throwing it away once more. I don't believe it. Terence now, all he needs to do is win the race, and that is easier said than done. The nerves are getting to the championship contenders here in Abu Dhabi. Terence, though, in the moment where they need to, is looking to find the pace and catching up to the fellow medium tyre runners. DRS is now available. And here we go. That's Yellowek moving over across the circuit to try and break toe from Patrick, not allow them to catch up. Elwain 3.2 seconds away from the field. Terence in DRS range of the lead pack. What a swing in the championship. I don't know what to say. But it's only been 10 out of 29 laps and we've seen everything already. Even pit stops on the opening lap. Damage, DNF, overtakes, spins, and mind games. That is Terence into the pit lane. Very early on into the pit lane, going for the undercut here, and they're going for glory. They've gone very slow into the pit lane entry though to avoid speeding. That is going to scrub some time off. Yes, the undercut is going to be powerful. Will it be their best chance at winning this race? They might have a chance at overtaking 3 cars in one go. It really depends if the top 3 do fight it out or not. If they fight, they fall behind, they allow Terence to go for a good chance at winning the race. If they work together, then Terence doesn't really have much of an option other than to defend later on. Oh, and there's contact. Yellowek goes off the circuit and is going to be very frustrated. They have to make sure that they go slow enough that they won't receive a penalty. They'll have to give the position up to Patrick. Would they try and go for a re-overtake immediately? No. But that is lucky that there wasn't more from that. Oh, Patrick was a bit slow on the apex there. They get a good exit, but they do spook Yellowek, who has to slow down mid-corner. Will we see a reaction to the pit lane from the top 3? That is the question. Or are they going to stay numb to it? Are they going to try and work together? Well, all of that just happening there was a little bit tricky. Aaron wouldn't have been slowed down so much. No one reacts. That's giving Terence another lap of undercut advantage. I think this is really, really good news for Terence, who, you know, if you've watched LSI, you will know that Terence is a tyre whisperer. Elwain is in fact reacting to his teammate. 1 lap later, he's going on for another set of hards, is that right? And a full front wing change. I did not realise. I think they must have had damage with their spin. So they're going for that switch of tyres immediately and just trying to get to the end of the race safely, hoping that something will happen. But right now, unless they can also undercut the field, that's what they're looking for. They're looking to undercut the field as well, because they need to make sure that they finish P5 and no lower. If Terence wins... Actually, no, they need to finish P4, sorry. If Terence wins and Elwain's P5, Terence wins the title today. Now, I do have to claim, unfortunately, with the time penalty situation and the penalty situation throughout the season, things might change afterwards, but we've just got to watch it in the moment unfold and sort everything else out at a later point. And this is how it's going to play out on track. It is Yellowek into the pit lane. It's more earlier than Aaron and Patrick, but still later by a little way now from Terence. Is that undercut going to be worth it? Yellowek drives to the pit box, and here we go with the Red Bull driver who will fly, absolutely fly past Yellowek. And just look at that undercut. Yellowek nowhere to be seen in the tunnel. It's going to be a pretty clear undercut from them. And now we've got the top two who will surely react to Yellowek at least after not reacting to Terence, and now seeing that Terence is not that far away. Surely they've got to be doing something about it now. Using the battery, blasting it down their straight, that's a good sign that we're going to be going into the pit lane. Turning off the battery into turn 9 though, and not optimising that performance in the final lap is interesting. Maybe they're looking for a quicker out lap than they are an in lap. Well, if you don't have a quick in lap, then you might just get a loss of track position. I think it's pretty much done and dusted now anyway. Terence putting in that final fastest lap that we just saw. They are 5 seconds away. Absolutely amazing. That is pit stops from the race leaders. Isaac on track. Will they follow? They'll stay out. They're looking for something even different here, as they of course pitted much earlier on this hard tyre. We've got a few different strategies happening here, but I'll tell you one strategy. Terence, their strategy is to win this race. And looking at where the rest of the field is going to come out relative to Elwain, they are very much losing this championship. That undercut from Yellowek has also gained them a decent advantage as well. We do have to remember that tyre warm-up isn't that much of a factor when you leave the pit lane, so the pace is pretty much going to be dead on already for the Aston Martin and for the Williams. That is a 2-second advantage that Yellowek has done by 1 lap earlier of an undercut. What did we just see there? Was that a yellow flag moment from Terence? Well, 5 seconds. Don't think it was a big moment. I think it was, if it was anyone, it would have been Isaac on track, because they're now only 4.8 seconds away. So Isaac's had a bit of a moment. Yep, they do unfortunately have no front wing, and that is going to be pretty dramatic. As we will see Terence come through these next few corners, and now hoping they don't catch up with the Ferrari before the Ferrari goes into the pit lane. And they won't. It will be quite fortunate. They should be all good to go. Terence leads the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for the first time this evening. Isaac on track into the pit lane with damage. Elwain has a chance once more. Is it going to be enough? There it is. Elwain will make that move. But Elwain will also get the update on how many seconds they are away from that title. 14.1 seconds from confirming their title right now, tonight. That is why it's so tricky. Yellowek currently the faster of the top two, with Patrick and Aaron catching up ever so slightly lap by lap. They're the quickest on track right now. DRS is now available for the Williams and the Aston. So Isaac, racing on their wheel last weekend, had a brilliant drive. Was looking very quick, despite a few issues. Now this time around, they're back onto their controller, having some problems. Now, Yellowek has lost 6/10 in the last lap or so on Terence. They've got a lot to think about behind. That's brilliant news for the championship leader. Sorry, contender. Elwain, P5. Still 15 seconds behind. Here we go. Patrick goes for the move. The inside line is theirs. Yellowx going to have to let that one happen. But a big overreaction or overstep from the Williams is going to allow Yellowx to come back through. And you know what? Aaron's not too far away either. They're forcing Yellowx to do something about it. It's going to be a triple overtake. Can we see it happen? The inside line is chosen. Almost contact. Aaron putting everything on the line and will get the overtake done on one of the cars at least. Maybe not the car that they expected to get the job done on, but they've done it. Absolutely incredible stuff. Aaron's now P3, Yellowx is in P2, and Patrick with a big mistake into the chicane. By the time they end the lap, finds himself a position down. A masterclass on how you don't overtake and how you spot an opportunity in just one chicane between 3 drivers. Yellowx was part of the demonstration for both. And now they're going to be part of it again. This time it will be side by side. We're looking on the wrong camera. Will Yellowx look for the switch back? I think we've seen Aaron cover that one off there. They've got a pretty decent line through the corner, but actually the battery is enough here for Yellowx to get that move back. And although it looks like they might have gone side by side for a second, Aaron does play the smart game, and they will slot in behind. Yellowx good to go, but they did seem a little bit nervous whilst being out in front. That's why we're seeing Aaron stick so closely behind. Patrick made a mistake, not expecting things to happen as they did, and lost a few tenths, but that is a quick Aston Martin. All of this fighting though loses everybody a second. Terence now 6.2 seconds away from the field, and it's only going better for the driver from Hong Kong. Once more, making the overtake to the left-hand side. It's not going to be Aaron, unless it will be. They back off just as they get to the braking point. And Patrick will just have to sit behind and watch. Terence maintains that gap now, finding a steady pace. And they know that they're doing everything right at this stage. Elwain currently looking at finishing even on points. Now for this race, what are the chances we get another safety car? I'll tell you, it's pretty low. It is pretty low. The only way Elwain can really make this happen is by hoping for a car ahead, whether that be Terence to lose one position or one of the other cars to lose multiple positions. Then, yeah, that's the only way for them to win the title here. Time penalties also could play a factor. Isaac Contract the only one to have that time penalty. That's Yellowx ahead. It's Patrick on the inside line of Aaron, going side by side and doing a very good job to get that one done. It does take 2 to tango. Aaron backs off and allows both drivers to get through nicely. Using the battery, Patrick tries to catch everything they can to the Sauber car, but no overtake will be available. They just were a little bit too far back when they started that straight, and the Sauber was quick enough in a straight line to not need to question their ability there. They were good to go. Terence brings that gap once again to 6.2, maintaining the pace of this race. Hitting earlier than anybody, they do have a long way to go in this Grand Prix still on that tyre. They will get to the end perfectly fine, but their tyres will be worse. They will have a bit of a disadvantage. In recent circuits, we've seen that be a big, big problem. However, for Abu Dhabi, I don't think that will be so much of an issue. I don't think a massive tyre or a few laps difference in tyre wear will have that much of an effect. We don't know, but we'll find out. It's a defensive throw. It's almost going to be 3 wide once more. Aaron slots in behind, replicating what they were kind of doing a few laps ago and just not really wanting to actually go for a move. Instead of keeping Patrick on their toes. It's got an interesting racing line down the back straight. Not entirely sure what their intention is, and that's the worrying part. Going very slow through this final sector, using the battery to save up, and then blast it all again down the straight, and yet they're still maintaining the pace here. What's happened? Have we sent Elwain back into the pit lane and to go onto their old set of hard tyres, or have they had a spin that we did not realise? Well, oh, and that is a big crash and a full safety car. A decision to be made as everything will once again come to a halt. Snap of oversteer from Isaac on track as they were chased by Elwain. If we didn't see this coming, then I don't know what we were looking at. And Elwain has slightly lost it there because they've come into the pit lane immediately when they did not need to. The race leader has overtaken the safety car, so they'll get 1 lap extra. That is going to be a slight benefit for Terence himself. And they'll be good to go. Elwain does have to get a move done here though. The tyres are going to be almost identical. The cars are going to be lighter. It's going to be an all-out send to the end. Terence, for a while, had a championship by 15 seconds advantage. That's now going to be thrown away for barely a second, if not half a second, not even that. They're going to the pit lane for a fresh set of hard tyres, which is not what I expected here, but maybe the only tyre that they had available. Is that really what they were looking to do? Not the cars behind all go for that more obvious medium tyre. Patrick, however, also on the hard tyre, so something is up here. We don't quite know why, but I think it must be due to a tyre allocation thing. And we've got Patrick and Terence both on the hards. I don't think they would have chosen that. I think there's something more to it that we just can't see. Now Terence leads the way. Earlier on we did see that the hard compound wasn't slow. It very much was not slow. Yellowek will have a great chance at winning this race. But again, the hard tyre is not slow. Now, the benefit that Terence has in this scenario is that because we will spend a few laps under the safety car, the peak performance of the medium tyre will not be utilised. We will see Yellowek and Aaron and Elwain all spend a few laps wearing that compound down. That will give an advantage to the hard compounds, but ultimately it will still lie with that softer compound. They shouldn't have any issues. Now, we will go racing on lap 24 out of 29. A true sprint to the line it will be. We've got Terence and Patrick on hards, Yellowek, Aaron and Elwain on mediums. 1 lap disadvantage to Elwain, but they are the championship leader. If they finish P4 today, they take the title. They finish P5 and Terence wins the title. If Terence doesn't win, Elwain takes all. Anything can happen, but there's 2 drivers that know exactly what they need to do in this race. And I'm trying to think of what to say, but I feel like I don't need to say anything. These 2 drivers started the season working together well. They've pushed each other very, very hard to the limit. And now it will come down to this final race. Terence leads the way once more in LSI. It's Yellowek to react. Yellowek looks for their first ever LSI victory here in Abu Dhabi to finish off the season in an optimal position, surrounded by hard tyres on the faster compound. Terence needs to win today to win the title. When are we going to go racing once more? We just don't quite know. Terence modulates the throttle, gets ready for once more green flag racing, and he goes for it late on, but just before the braking point, and actually nails that. Wow, I don't believe that at all. That's incredible. As Yellowek will not be able to get there, half a second away already, and once again off the restart, making a mistake in the first corner. It's side by side between Aaron, who catches Patrick napping, and oh, we really do see the hard tyre is not going to be there, and this is for the championship. Elwain goes for the move early on and just let through by the Williams. Well, it looked like initially, but it's now a drag race down into the chicane. We'll see as the cars almost look slow motion for a moment, but yes, surely the Red Bull has the advantage on the inside line. They will be there. Now Patrick does still have a chance a little bit later on. The final laps are really going to be where they're alive here. Yellowek, are they going to be patient, or are they going to try and get ahead immediately? Well, now they don't have Patrick in between as a safety net, so they do have to get a move on. Aaron and Elwain both on this softer compound, and they will be ready to race past as soon as Yellowek shows hesitation to take the lead of this race. The Aston Martin, the Red Bull, will find their way through. Currently, Elwain doing enough here to win this title after making that overtake on Patrick. Patrick, as long as they stay within DRS range, still has a chance at getting back through. Elwain's had problems this race. They had a spin. So has Terence. We just don't know how it's going to go. I'm trying to talk you through it, but it's really just live sport in itself. You just can't get anything quite like it. Terence once more will lead this lap. They will stay in front for the DRS zone. But will that be the case on the next one? It will be, because that is a terrible corner from the Sauber car. It just wasn't able to get it slowed down. They're lucky that the Aston Martin does not have the battery to perform any kind of move. And they will just have to follow this time around. Elwain could even try and make themselves even safer by going for a move here. That would be one hell of an achievement. Yellow close into the braking zone, but that's not where they need to be close. They need to be close in the DRS zone. That's going to get them that safe overtake that they're looking for to take this title. Or are they looking to run down the lap counter to go for a move in the final moments and really make it count? That's what is the safer bet. Now look at that. The hard tyre has just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and it's not Terence, it's Patrick. Patrick is coming back, ready to get another move. They want to get the podium themselves, and it just so happens that in order to get there, they'll have to push Elwain out of the way and out of championship winning position. Aaron once again very close, but it's just a bit too far away, surely. Missing their braking point and actually finding a great opportunity to get the switch back, but they did not perform it to perfection, and it will never work if you make contact with the back of the car you're trying to pass. Yellow will stay in front. It's Patrick who's coming through. Oh, and there's contact. I don't believe it. Patrick's not going to be happy with that one, but Elwain's going to be even more frustrated. And they do give the position immediately back. DRS, will it be available? Well, actually, that contact might have just been really beneficial for Elwain. If they don't have DRS range, then maybe it's not a bad thing, but no, really, they need to be in that fight, because if they get overtaken by Patrick, then it's game over. I don't believe what I'm seeing. I didn't think that would happen, at least, but it did. So close margins between the two. And luckily, nothing major happened in the end. Do they have the ability to get back within DRS range? They don't have the battery to do it. They're so close, yet so far. Will they get there on the brakes? Well, they don't send it in on the apex. So they have lost some pace there. They've lost some crucial performance that they could have really manipulated, but it didn't matter in the end. They will get to the DRS range, at least for the following chicane. But that's a very, very quick train that they've got in front of them, and they've missed their braking point. Instead of sending it into the hairpin, they've tried to send it into the chicane, and now they've lost themselves even more time. That Williams is going to be quick. That Williams is going to go for the move, and really, that is the best chance, surely, to get that DRS back. But instead, it looks like maybe Elwain doesn't want that to happen. They want to single the Williams out and then go for the move. But that Williams is on a hard compound tyre that's only going to be faster in these final few laps of this race. And it will bring them back into the chance of winning or getting back into the train. But it also is going to lose them the chance of actually making that overtake on the Williams that they really need to secure this title. Now, once more, we just don't quite know what the intentions are of Yellowek here. The Sauber is on that medium tyre, and you'd expect them to want to go for the lead early on and make the most of that medium compound tyre. However, if they can make an overtake in the final moments, then, well, that would just prevent Terence from getting back through. That being said, the final moments are upon us. There's no battery in that Sauber, and the tyres are only getting better for the Red Bull. Elwain in the train, but not by much. Terence magically finds their position back as championship leader. And when we cross the line, once more I will say, although penalties have not been decided, It's not fully over until everything has gone through and been processed. But we will be able to say, for now, who the championship winner is when they cross the line. The final lap is here. This is what we've been waiting for. Terence leads the way into the first corner and is doing everything that they need to control this race and go for glory. And 9/10, although DRS may still be available for the Sauber, there's surely no coming back here for Yellowek. Aaron gave it their best shot to compete with the Sauber, but it's just not happened, and now they can't do anything about it, and they're actually looking at defending this position instead. And Elwain watches everybody fly away down the straight in DRS range as they have now lost it. I just don't believe how this race has gone. Both drivers have had it very dramatically. I thought that was going to be a time penalty in the last moment there for Aaron, but it's not. It is going to be Patrick once again going for an overtake into turn 9. Is it going to work out this time? There's contact once more. It's side by side. The switchback is available. They're going to get a run. It's going to be so tight. Who's going to back out? Is anyone going to back out? It's amazing. But it will be Aaron who will get there, and the switchback is going to be blocked off. But we have to have a look at this moment here. It's Terence who rounds the final corner. It's going to be a win in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be a win in 25. Terence wins the LSI F1.5 EU Championship. Absolutely incredible. And as a spectator, if you could ask for any race, that would have been it. Just wow. Very impressive stuff from everybody there today. It's Terence who wins. It's Yellowek P2. It's Aaron once again on the podium. Patrick to P4. Elwain down in P5. And DNFing earlier on was Isaac on track and Kiwi. The championship is decided. It's Terence who takes the title, even on points by the time they cross the line. And that gives the advantage to the driver from Hong Kong. Now, I know I've said it a few times. I will just repeat it once more. Only until everything has been processed. Post-season, will the champion be decided or fully crowned? But as we speak, we know that Terence is the winner. We'll see in a bit for the post-race interviews. Hello everyone and welcome to the post-race interviews of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. That was one hell of a race. We start the interviews with Yellowek. Yellowek, well, you spent a long time of that race leading and fighting for the victory. It didn't quite happen in the end, but you did have a very, very good race for the most part of it, just battling the entire way through. It did not look easy for you out there. In the final moments, what do you think went wrong? What do you think wasn't allowing you to get to that P1 spot?
Okay, like I will answer it, but first I always wanted to say pole position for Yellowhead.
That was
Okay, thank you.
amazing.
Now I can answer. Oh my god, my voice cracked. Anyway, so what was missing, right?
Yeah.
Talent, skill issue, being quick in important corners, maybe puncher in Terence car. Maybe if his car would disappear, then I would win. But still, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, definitely my best race in this league. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was so fun, and also the battling with the guys, with the Patrick and Aaron. I think I'm not sure. It was pretty amazing. I had a little moment once in turn 7, but overall it was such a good race for me. Also with strategy, my first safety car restart, like I was leading, so yeah, very, very good race. Also, congrats to Terence, even better race from him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was one hell of a race, and yeah, of course, I do apologise for missing that. Well done on the pole position, absolutely amazing there. And were you not thinking early on after that last restart that you could go for the lead, or were you trying to go for the lead?
I tried to, like, not on the first lap after restart. I wanted to just keep within his DRS. I knew that Terence is on the hard tires, so I decided that okay, I will just keep up in his DRS, no mistakes. And later, after this one lap, once I think I had a small chance to try attack him into turn 9, but then in turn 5 I made mistakes, so my run on the straight to turn 7 was bad, and same on the straight before turn 9. So yeah, after all, I just couldn't reach him. Like, I was missing 3/10 of pace at least to catch him
Yeah.
in a few places.
Thank you very much, Yellowek. It's been a pleasure to watch you all season. I think you should be very proud of how far you've come, and like you said, you think that was probably one of your best races. You know, that's pretty something. You know, that's a very, very
Yeah,
good job.
I
And
liked it.
you've lost today to a champion, so I think
Yeah,
that's not bad at all. Yellowek, thank you
yeah,
very much. Well done today, and we'll see you next time.
thank you.
And we move on to our championship winner this season, Terence. What a roller coaster of a final race to get the job done. 10 points behind going into the Grand Prix after a brilliant race last time around in Qatar. Today, it did not look like it was going to be in your favour, and after the opening lap, it looked like it was going to be an impossible task. It all then came your way, but it wasn't purely on luck, because you went for that very, very early pit stop. Was that part of your plan?
I don't know. Just I know. What I don't know what happened in that one. Whatever it happens, I got spun off in turn 1, and then he got spun off and on the same lap in turn 5. But after that one, I'm still behind him. So it's like maybe I just get one more victory on my stats, or maybe podium. It's okay to lose that. Okay. Because he was absent last week.
Yeah.
So if he was up on Qatar, it should be his championship. So whatever on the name I got the crown or he got the crown is actually the same for me. I'm just trying to enjoy the fun of racing after a little bit downshift after that. I think Saudi Arabia. So though I didn't practice at all, so I think my original setup is 25-12, which is a very oversteer wing setup, and then I added on to 32-23 because I have no confidence at all, especially for that set of three. But on the plan that I lost Mars because he didn't wake up. So I have to do my plan myself. And I saw that okay, I lost a little bit because of the second time of ISAT dive. So that was very dangerous to get foreign damage, but for him and me as well. Really dangerous, but I saw that coming, and then I tried to stay as right as I can, and then just a little bit collision, and then I lost the position to Ewing again, and then I think we also lost a DRS to the train ahead, but luckily Ewing using hard tire fresher, and then the top train are using the medium, same as so we can I can use Airwing's tire and my better cornering speed by much higher downforce to get the DRS and go back to the train. But I think after lap 7 or lap 8, I think after lap 8 the tire is done already. I can't push anymore in set of 3, and then I lost my DRS. So I think that's it. And then if I lost the DRS, then why not I go for early stop? Because I got much better downforce, and then also I got fresher tires, so I should get massive undercut, and it did. But I think on lap 15, I know that the hard tire won't be done. It should be around 85% if I stick with that hard tire. So actually, someone say that Isaac is a Latifi, maybe. I was going on a 2-stop on lap 21 for fresher hard tire. So I think I could put off something like 13 seconds to those 3 cars, but I don't have any confidence to overtake them because I got low top speed. But the safety car comes, and then change my fresh hard, and then the things goes on.
Yeah. I mean, look, a championship that at the end, whether it was or not decided by a driver not turning up to Qatar, you've still got to turn up, and both of you had some phenomenal attendance during the entire season, and that's part of the game of winning a title. Both drivers had a chance in that final race to get the job done, and you were able to get there. I think Elwain deserved it, so did you, but you've got it done. Don't take away anything from what you've done. On the 31st of January this year, you won the Italian Grand Prix. You led the championship from race 1. You lead the championship at the end. You should be very proud of what you've done today, but also over the last 4 months. It's been incredible to watch. Thank you very much, Terence. You deserve it. Congratulations, you are the champion.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed it, because that was one hell of a race. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye bye.